I'm happy the Eagles lost last night. What is the point of having a running back if you're not going to use him? You know, Miles Sanders averaged 6.2 yards a carry last night. Therefore, when the Eagles went 3 and out 4 or 5 drives in a row, statistically, if they would have just used their running back for 1 or 2 plays a series, they would have gotten a first down. Yes, I'm salty because I got Miles Sanders in fantasy, so I watched that game very closely to see how much they wasted him. Until the 4th drive where he finally got to play, which, by the way, he took them right down the field and allowed them to score a touchdown. Before that quarter, he had little to no attention at all. I don't know, like, is it impossible to be productive with both the run and the pass at the same time? I don't get it. For the first 3 drives, Miles Sanders was on the field for 100% of the snaps, and he had 1 carry. Screw you, Philly. Alright, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Happy Friday! Now, for those who want to see me play Madden, I just want to apologize, guys. I don't want to be depressed today, so I'm not going to go near it. Instead, we're going to be playing another tier list game. Now, I do want to get this out of the way, too. I'm not the original creator of this idea. This is my own tier list concept, but the game that we are playing today, I'm going to call it the panic button. Some people call it the panic meter, the panic bus. I've seen tons of other people do it, but basically, I'm going to be going through every team and telling you that if I was a fan, how worried I would be about their team's current standing. And no, I'm not going to try and make this like a super serious in-depth video. I want it to be kind of quick but fun. So like if you're a fan who is going to disagree with my opinion on your team and you're going to come at me with a bunch of statistics, please realize before you do it that I don't fucking care in the slightest and I'm just doing this to have fun. And I hope you guys have fun with it too. But before we hop into the video, guys, head over to gfuel.com. Use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Alright, so here we are, as you guys can see, back at the tier list. Now, I'm sure you can tell this is flip-flopped. For once in your life, you actually want to be at the bottom. So, starting at the bottom, we have the teams that if I was a fan of, I'd be happy with. Above that, we have the teams that I would be worried, but still comfortable, so I have it highlighted green because that's still good. Below that, we got the teams that, well, I'm worried about. Below that, or technically above it, we have the teams that I'm sweating for. And then at the top of the totem pole, the one you don't want to have is the teams that I'm flat out just screaming if I'm a fan. Not in a good way either, like I'm going ballistic. I'm basically a Jags fan. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to move the camera down to the bottom right so you guys can see all the upcoming teams and I'm not in your guys' fucking way. And we're going to get this list started off with the Cleveland Browns. So if I was a Browns fan, I would be worried, but I would be comfortable. Dude, you guys got a great team. Like I've said, I'm just worried about your offense. It feels pressured. It feels unnatural. I think as soon as they trade Odell, things will get a lot better there. He just doesn't fit the scheme, and they could get somebody who certainly does. But other than that offensive hiccup, I think they're a great team. All right, up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers, and I would be worried about the division, not about the team. I think they got a great team, but I think their division is just going to be too much for them. They're not going to be able to keep up. It's going to keep them out of the playoffs, which, I mean, technically that falls into probably needing to have a better team. But if they played in any other division, they would definitely be playoff contenders. Still are, just unlikely. Moving on, we got the Patriots. Definitely worried. I'm not that worried because they have a great defense and they got Bill Belichick. I'm worried about the offense. They got a young quarterback who doesn't exactly look terrible, but he certainly doesn't look great. And honestly, in their receiving core and tight ends, man, I don't see any talent that I look at and go like, wow! All basically just players who have been in the league for 5 years and got off of their contracts, not really doing anything fantastic, but enough to get paid decently in New England. Moving on, we got the Carolina Panthers. No, I'm worried, but I'm comfortable. What the fuck is there to be worried about? Probably got the best secondary in football. I know they got the number 2 rated defense in football. Their offense is explosive as shit. I know they've lost in back-to-back games, but once they get CMC back, I'm sure they're going to get the spark back that they needed. I don't know. Personally, sitting where that team is, knowing how good that defense is, the offensive weapons you have, like, I'm chilling if I'm the Panthers right now. Moving on, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would be sweating. I would be sweating about the division you're in. I'd be sweating about your fucking awful quarterback. I'd be sweating about your offensive line. I'd be sweating about the loss of Juju Smith-Schuster. It's great they have Tomlin. It's great they have that defense that will keep them alive. But if I was the Steelers, knowing that I'm at the bottom of a very hard division competing against the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns, I'd be sweating through my shirt. Moving on, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Weirdly, you can call me biased or whatever. I'm worried, but nothing above that. They're barely losing games when they lose. They are a good football team. They just don't know how to finish. They don't know how to maintain a lead. Kind of like the Atlanta Falcons, except not as shitty. Moving on, we got the Seattle Seahawks. I'm sweating. You lost your quarterback. Now, I know you have receivers, you have tight ends, you have running backs who can all catch and get the ball down as long as it hits the air. But Geno Smith isn't going to be as accurate as Russ is, and neither will Blake Bortles if they intend to sign him. You're also sitting in one of the most competitive divisions in football, possibly the most competitive division in football. Worst time to lose your star quarterback. All right, up next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. I would be worried, but I wouldn't be sweating. They got to fix that defense, but thankfully they're in a division where it's not going to take much to get them back into second place. As long as their offense stays healthy, they can outscore 90% of the teams in the league. They can fight their way right back into a playoff spot. Now, I'm not going to lie, they're one offensive injury away from being a sweating team and two away from being a screaming team. Good reason for worry, but I'm not sweating yet. Up next, we got the Lions. I am screaming. I want nothing to do with that. If I was a fan of that team, I would consider just not watching football at all. It's entertaining to try and watch you guys win every single week, but it seems like no matter how close you get, you guys just continue to fucking fail. They need help at receiver, and they need help in their secondary. Jeffrey Okudah, by the way, has been nothing other than a goddamn bust. Alright, up next, we've got the Eagles. I'd be screaming my fucking ass off. Guys, this run D is ass. Your head coach doesn't know how to utilize your entire offense. Jalen Hurts, as much as I love him, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat. You guys are sitting in a division where you're possibly the worst, for surely the third worst, and there's no prayer in hell you catch Dallas this year. The Eagles are doomed. Moving on, we got the Miami Dolphins. I'm sweating. Defense has been atrocious. They're allowing 422 yards a fucking game. Tua's out, and even if Tua's playing, I'm sorry, Dolphins fans, I'll just take this shot every time I can get it. He's ass. Moving on, we got the Saints. I'd be fucking worried. Every other week, they look great, and then they look like shit. There's no consistency in that team. Their defense might be consistent. I haven't been paying much attention to them. But their offense is going from good to ass to good to shit to good. Also, as far as where their team stands, they're going to be constantly competing with Carolina while trailing Tampa Bay. I don't want that. That's the last thing I would ever want on my team. Up next, we've got the Texans. I'm screaming. Like, seriously, other than Culley, Brandon Cooks, and Tyrod Taylor, that entire team can just fuck off. Up next, we got the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sweating. I ain't screaming, I'm sweating. Look, they got Pitts. They got Calvin Ridley. Cordero Patterson has been actually very exciting to watch, as well as Matt Ryan being pretty on target. They've got excitement in their offense. I know their defense is bad, and I'm sure everybody of their fucking fan base knows it too. I don't think they're in the worst spot, but I think that they're pretty close to it. If I was wearing a gray t-shirt and I was a Falcons fan, you'd be able to see my armpits. Moving on, we got the Ravens. I'd be worried. I don't care how their record looks. It looks great, doesn't it? We all know if they didn't have one man, it wouldn't look that good. Running backs are all hurt. Their running backs consist of 3 guys who were really good about 15 years ago. In order to not be, worried about a team, you've got to be comfortable. And right now, this is the most uncomfortable 4-1 football team I've ever seen in my entire life. Credit given to them, but still, man, holy shit. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans. I'm not gonna lie, man. I ain't comfortable with them either. I'm not comfortable with a lot of teams in this league. Their defense is shit. Their offense can't stay healthy. They have Derrick Henry, which is great, but A.J. Brown and Julio have already been in and out of an injury 10 more times than I can count. Top of their division, luckily, because their division is probably the worst in football, honestly, and they have little to no competition. So it's sad that I'm still putting them in the worried category, but as we've seen time and time again, that if the Titans go against a team of anybody, it's always going to be a football game. Very, very lucky they're in the division that they are. Moving on, we got the Giants. I'm screaming. You guys know it. I don't have to say it again. Other than the defense, I fucking hate everything about that team. I don't like the Giants. If I was a Giants fan, I would wake up screaming every single morning. All right, up next, we've got the Colts. I'd be sweating. I'd be sweating about my record. I'd be sweating about not being able to catch the Titans. I'd be sweating about missing the playoffs. I just don't think the offense has everything it needs. I've said that a million times, and I'm so serious on it. Offensive weapon-wise, I would give this team like a C-. Moving on, we got the Cards. I'm happy. How can you not be chilling if you're 5-0 sitting at the top? If you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, chances are you're waking up every morning smiling from ear to ear with the birds chirping. Next team we got, Green Bay. I'm happy. Sitting at the top of a division where there is little to no chance that one of those teams are going to be able to catch you. And even if they do, they are not going to be able to keep up with you. You have your offense. They are putting on points. They are putting on a show every single week. Up next, Tampa Bay. Weird here. Weird. I'm worried, but I'm comfortable. You know you have a Super Bowl roster. You know you have a Super Bowl team. Every single person that starts on that team right now was on the roster last year when you guys won a Super Bowl, unless somebody got hurt and a rookie started. But Any close game at all with Tampa Bay, if I was a fan, I'd be shitting my fucking pants. You have the worst secondary in football, and no matter how good your offense is, just like I said yesterday and the day before, they're incomplete, they are broken. Worried but comfortable, Tampa. Moving on, you got the Bears. This is weird. I'm worried about them, but I wouldn't be sweating. Their defense is still really good, and their offense is always going to be what it pretty much has been, at least through my eyes. It scores how it scores. I don't think they have a fucking plan on offense, ever. All right, up next, we've got the Bengals. Okay, I'm worried, but I'm comfortable if I'm them too. Their defense is ranked 12th in the league. You know how big of a step that is from where it was last year? Joe Burrow's healthy. He's looking sharp. They have one of the most explosive receiving cores I've ever seen. They just got to find more consistent ways to piece it together, you know, other than the occasional bomb to Jamar Chase that they've been having luck with. Up next, we got the Jags. Holy shit. Moving on, we got the Buffalo Bills. I'm happy, dude. I'm a Bills fan. I'm chilling. I'm as happy as a kid in a candy store. Nothing to fix there for me, man. Like I said, I wish they would use the run a little bit more, but I can't bitch because when they do use it, it's really good. They just don't need to use it. Moving on, we got the Washington football team. Sorry again about the logo. I should probably just look for a new list, but I'm worried. They can still compete. They have been competing pretty much every week besides when they played Buffalo, but their defense has been absolutely horrible. I mean, it has been bad. Moving on, we got Dallas. Weird to say this, but as shitty as their defense is, just like Tampa Bay, like I said, I'd be fucking happy. I wouldn't care. The thing about their secondary letting up the second most yards behind Tampa Bay in the league is that they got a guy sitting back there who's taking 1 to 2 passes away every single game, giving Dallas 1 or 2 extra possessions every single game. That offense doesn't fail. They go out, they score points. If I was a fan of Dallas right now with the division you're in, I'd be fucking happy as hell. Moving on, we got the Broncos. I would be sweating if I was them. I'd be sweating competing with the Chiefs, competing with the Raiders, and I'd always be trailing the Chargers. And I could be wrong still, but so far I've been right when I said they've been nothing but a bunch of fucking frauds. Moving on, we got the Rams. I'd be happy. You got a defense that needs help. The good news is you got all the talent to do it. And as far as your offense goes, I don't see a fucking problem with it. Even with Cam Akers out, Darrell Henderson is still doing a great job. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp look great. Tyler Higbee's being utilized. I love the Rams. Moving on, we got the Jets. I'm puking. I'm adding another row. Yeah, the Jets are in vomit. I would not want anything to do with this. All right, moving on, we got the Raiders. I'm sweating my balls off. Honestly, I'm almost screaming. Went from 3-0 to 3-2, and where that team currently is, I'm not going into the John Gruden situation, but where that team currently is, they're fucked. They're in a shit show. It's gonna take time to adapt and develop a new game plan, a new scheme. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they got a lot of talent. I think they're in a very, very, very fucking shitty spot, though. And lastly, we got the Chargers. Who could not be happy? Fix that run D. It's been fucking terrible, but everything else about that team has been magnificent. Herbert, the receivers, the running back, the coach. Slater's been elite. Very, very little to be concerned about, and honestly, Los Angeles seems to be the happiest place to be right now. Okay, so I'm editing right now, I'm sure you guys can tell. But I filmed this really, really early this morning because I had to get something done. And I didn't realize how much I swore, so I wanted to say sorry for the excessive F-bombs. That's just what happens when I get up and I'm tired, man. I just swear left and right. Anyways, if you guys like that video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn the bell on. I do my best to post every single day. If there's any placements on this list that you guys disagree with, like I said, it's just meant to be fun, so don't take it too serious. Not sure what my stream schedule is going to look like this weekend. I do have some plans, but I want to try and get on Twitch once or twice if I can. If you guys want to follow any of my social medias or send something to my P.O. box, all that info will be in the description of this video. With all that stuff being said, guys, I'm going to hop off, edit this. Well, I'm already pretty much edited the video. I'm going to hop off, edit this tiny clip, and then post it so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and as always, I will see you in the next video.